Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of Omnifactory. My name is ZD Sauce, and this is the amazing production line that we ended up making last episode. Very proud of it. We were able to get polyethylene piped into here, and then that turns it into sheets and imports it into our bus, which is upstairs. So we can see how many sheets we have shortly. There's a few things I did in between episodes. So if you remember from last episode, I had these two tanks, but one of them was holding diluted sulfuric acid. So instead of just storing that somewhere, what I did is I made another distillery, and I just piped our diluted sulfuric acid into this. And then with a program circuit, it pretty much just distills it and turns it back into sulfuric acid. And then that is piping back into this. So that will cut down a good amount on our sulfur intake. And with how much we have stored, I think actually what I'm going to do is take out the sulfur because I think we have plenty of sheets for now. And then the amount of sulfuric acid we have when it's getting piped all around, it's going to last us a lot. We have 64 buckets in here, 63 buckets in here, and then all of that will get diluted and can kind of keep on getting cycled through. Obviously, it's diminishing returns. I actually don't really know. Sulfuric acid. Nope, not that one. How about this one? So 3,000 to 2,000. So that really doesn't diminish too much. So I really think that's going to last a while. So I'm going to remove the export bus, or I'll leave it here in case we want to import more in the future. But in case we want to use sulfur for other things, I don't really know if we need all of our sulfur getting piped into here for right now. So instead I was just storing hydrogen in both of these, but they are completely full now. So that's 400 buckets of hydrogen, which I love to see because hydrogen is used quite a lot. But that's actually stopping our electrolyzer from working because our hydrogen is backed up, so it can't pipe the oxygen over here to make polyethylene. So what I want to do to start out this episode is to basically work on a place to store hydrogen that isn't these primitive little tanks. So the Applied Energistics does have fluid digital storage, so I want to work on making that. Before I get into that, one other thing I also did in 2 episodes was making another magmatic dynamo, and just kind of matched it with the same augmentations. So now we're producing 1,800 because we're doing 900 each RF per tick. So definitely a huge bump in RF. I was having a lot of trouble since the electrolyzer down there was pretty much always running along with a lot of other machines. And then if I was running like the blast furnace and some of this, I had a bit of a power struggle. So it wasn't anything new. So I figured I didn't really need to show it on camera. One new thing I did do, however, was make these auxiliary transmission coils. These were pretty straightforward. The only thing that we haven't really done yet is the sterling silver. But that's just basically a lot of power into a blast furnace. See, it takes 400,000 EU, which is like over 1 million RF when you convert it. But the dust itself is very easy to make. It's just silver and copper dust. I think that covers everything I did in between episodes. Let me make sure when I deposit that sulfur, it doesn't just get piped back in. Okay, cool. One other thing I'm doing is I mined up some soapstone, and I just want to get some more silicon, and then this magnesium is very useful as well. And it's also the added benefit of getting us a bunch of oxygen, which is very useful. So I guess I did a good amount in between episodes, but let's move on to what we want to do today. So I've bookmarked some of the fluid stuff. So first thing we want to do is make this ME fluid terminal. That's going to basically let us see the fluids we have stored digitally in our ME drive. This is straightforward. We just need to make another illuminated panel, which we need some more fluics for. And then, actually, does the pure version work? It does. Awesome. And then we'll just have to turn that into a normal terminal, and we should be good. So we got an illuminated panel, and then combine it with a circuit to get the terminal. And then we have a logic processor. I don't think we have any lapis plates, though, so let's make a few of those. Oh, that's not how you do it, huh? Oh. I thought it would be simple, but I guess it's not. So to make this, you can use a compactor, which we definitely can't get. Oh, we actually need to make a cutting saw. Well, that's okay, because a cutting saw is something I wanted to make today anyway. So we can start off with that. because I also want to work towards an electronic processor array. And for that, we do need a cutting saw or a cutting machine. So yeah, let's take a look at that then before we jump into other stuff. I'm also going to drop off this soapstone. All right, so for an advanced cutting machine, this here component is jumping out. So we need a small pile of diamond dust, or we could use a normal diamond dust in assembler. This seems like the way to go, actually. And then we also need some cobalt brass. So I'm assuming that's just cobalt and brass combined, but cobalt, brass, dust. Yeah, brass dust. Okay, brass dust, aluminum, and cobalt. So let's make some of that. Oh, we haven't made brass. I'm thinking of bronze, actually. Okay, there's a few weird things we're going to have to make, actually. So we need cobalt, brass, dust. So brass dust is just copper and zinc. And then we're also going to need cobalt dust. So copper and zinc, that should be easy enough, right? Copper dust, and then we got some zinc as well. So it was 3, 2, 1, right? Yeah, and then it would make 4 each. So I don't really know how many to make. Okay, that's a multiple of 3. That's good. And then 5 of these crushed zinc should do it. Now if we combine them, we should get some brass dust. Awesome. And we need some aluminum dust and then cobalt dust, which I'm assuming is relatively easy to get. So we have a bunch of cobalt ingots, or cobalt. We have cobalite, actually. This is a bit more tricky than I thought it was going to be, actually. Let's see. Yeah, cobalt dust, but cobalt ore I don't think is something we have made yet, or we've gotten yet. Let's see. Yeah, we have cobaltite. Okay, that makes cobalt ingots. Okay, I think we should be able to use that, and then we can pull. Okay, phew! I was like, oh man, are we about to go down a massive rabbit hole? Okay, so I'll just make some of these up into cobalt dust, and then we're also going to need aluminum dust, which, do we have any actually? I think we might have turned that all into ingots. So I'll just make some of it back into dust. What a shame. We used all that energy in the blast furnace and now it's gone. Okay, and now we should be able to make some of this brass stuff, or cobalt brass, that is. Cool, we got 18, that's good for now. And then we want to use that to make a cobalt brass gear. Okay, so essentially we're going to need to smelt this up into its ingots, and then we need 4 plates and 4 rods. So that means I need 2 of these. I really don't know how much this cobalt brass stuff is used, but we'll see. Just don't need that many. Cool, and I can just throw these unused ingots back into our system, and we should be looking good pretty soon. We're also going to need, what was it, a diamond, some diamond dust. So I think that's just we can just pulverize a diamond, right? Please show me a diamond. Yep, okay. So that should be easy enough. All right, so first let's make this gear, and we need the screwdriver. And then we're going to need diamond dust, so let's grab a diamond, quickly pulverize that, and then we need to turn that into 4 small piles. And now I think we should be able to make this diamond saw blade. Very fancy. I don't know if this is used for anything else. Looks like a few different machines, or pretty much any cutting machine. Yeah, just cutting machines. Cool, we can throw that in the system. And then the rest of this stuff should be pretty straightforward. So we need another machine hole. Did I get that? I don't want to make 2 by accident. Yeah, we did. Okay. And then I think we have electric motors. We're going to need one of these as well. And I think that should be everything for our advanced cutting machine, right? Nice. Awesome. And we have our MV line here. This is energetic alloy cable with enough power. So with this, we wanted to make the lapis blocks. So that's going to need some water first. I don't think it needs that much water, but let me grab a couple buckets from out here. And do this and this. And then I think it can only cut blocks actually. So let me just make a block of lapis and that'll do it. Okay, so that should make us 9 of those plates. And then we already got something done that we wanted to do later in the episode. Yeah, 9 of the lapis plates, and then yeah, we should be good to make this terminal. Great. Okay, and now I will take my terminal, please. Awesome. And I believe this, yeah, this needs to be connected directly to one of the normal cables. Oh, I guess I do need to have that connected for now. ME glass, there we go. Now I'll take this out and use this instead. And I should be able to have my fluid. Obviously there's nothing in here because we don't have any fluid storage components yet though. So that is the next thing I want to make. And yeah, more lapis. I guess lapis is the fluid thing to do. But that's easy to make. And then I need to make another housing, which I don't have electrical steel for. Looks like I'm running low on electrical steel as well. I'm gonna have to make some more. In the meantime, I can collect some of these quest rewards. So this is for the fluid terminal, which we just did, and this is for the cell. And then, just like the item cells, this also gets us into the 4K and 64K, or 16K fluid storages, which I've found with fluids, it's really unnecessary. The amount of bytes that, like I can have 1,000 buckets of a fluid, and I swear it's like 15 bytes out of the 1,000 that you get from a 1K storage. It's I don't know if it's intended or not, but you can store a heck of a lot of fluid in just one of these, which we can demonstrate shortly. So I have my 1K fluid storage, and I should be able to just pop it in here, and we can store, much like how we can store 63 items, we can store 5 different types of fluids with this, and then 1,000 bytes. So let's throw some hydrogen in there and demonstrate. We'll take this. And yeah, we should just be able to drop it in like that. Oh, unless it, okay, there we go. I think it had some issues. So yeah, that's 200 buckets of hydrogen stored digitally. And yeah, we can access that with anything that can store fluid. We can take a bucket of it. So yeah, this is extremely handy to have. And let's see how many bytes that took up. So 200 buckets, 33 bytes. That is not bad at all. So I'll make 4Ks if I need them, but I don't really foresee myself needing them for the time being. So the reason we want this is because we want to store hydrogen instead of having to throw it into a tank. So for that, we're going to need a fluid import bus because we want to import fluids into the system. Make sure I'm not going to mess that up again. We're definitely importing. Okay, so we already got lapis plates. I think we have an annihilation core lying around. So we just have to make a piston. Unless we already have one. Nope, we don't. Do we have everything for that? We do. Cool, so we have a fluid import bus. And now, let me grab some conduiting. I'm gonna go down here. And where's the best place to do this? Can I go... Can I go here? No, I can't. Let me try out the back, but I don't know if I'm feeling super confident about that. Oh, I need an actual bucket to set the only thing I want. So I want to make sure that it's not going to import oxygen. So I should be able to filter on just hydrogen. And then if I do this and connect that up to the system, will that do its thing? It will. It's pretty slow, I think that should definitely keep up though, so that's fine for now. We just have a large back stuff for right now. Cool, and now the electrolyzer is running again, and it should be able to pipe through all that oxygen into here and start making a lot more polyethylene. Cool, yeah, that should do the job. I really like how compact this is. It looks nice and symmetrical too with the two exports here as well. Definitely a little bit messy, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Cool. So we are importing fluids now. So if we look in our fluid terminal, yeah, we're seeing our amount of hydrogen rising steadily. And I can also throw in another 200 buckets. So we have a ton of hydrogen now, which I'm happy about. Cool. Oh, I also wanted to check how much polyethylene. Oh yeah, we are sitting at 300 sheets of polyethylene, which is definitely going to last us a while. Once that gets closer to 1,000, I might end up stopping this, at least temporarily, just because that's a whole lot of polyethylene. But it's a very useful material, so I'm glad we automated it, and this is just going to make a ton, which is great. Cool, so we are importing fluids how I envisioned we would be. And now I think I want to basically try and make some electronic processor arrays. So this will be our first tier 3 circuits, but we need a few things for it. So if we look in the quest book, okay, it hasn't appeared yet, but that's because we need this cutting machine. Oh, it looks like we are, okay. Once again, we're getting a little bit ahead of the quest book, but I swear I know what I'm doing because I've done this before. But the first thing we're going to need to make is these monocrystalline silicon boules. I might be pronouncing things wrong, but this is going to be used to make wafers that we can put into the cutting machine. And then because we see for this, we need to have some of these integrated circuits. Everything else is easy to get our hands on, but this is something we haven't done yet. So for that, we need a cutting saw, which we just made. Some integrated circuit wafers. So we're going to need a precision laser engraver as well. And these wafers come from these monocrystalline stuff. So this is easy enough to make. It is just silicon and gallium into a blast furnace. So let's make a few of those. I don't really know how much silicon I have lying around. Okay, I can make a couple for now. And if we pop over to our blast furnace, nice. And we're good on power and everything. I think, yeah, I saw it did say 300 seconds to make this, so that's going to take a while. But I am not going to make you sit around and wait for that. So I'll be right back once this is finished and we have some of these silicon boules. Wow, that took a while. This is definitely a lengthy craft. You can just see how long each percentile takes. So yeah, it's over a second per... That's about, I guess if we do the math right, it's 3 seconds per percentile because it's a 300-second craft. But man, that felt like forever. Cool. So we got this. The quest got completed. And then I want to basically break and replace our advanced cutting machine. Let me take out the water as well because I just filled that up. And that should give us the quest for this advanced cutting machine. Awesome. And put the water back in here. Oh, that's the empty one. And then this should turn into 16 of those wafers that we were seeing in JEI. Nice. So yeah, these will be used... Man, I'm racking up all the Omni coins and quest points. These will be used to make those integrated circuits. And a wafer goes a decent, like a long way, so we don't have to make too many of those silicon boules. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, let's collect all these coins. And this is opening up a heck of a lot of different quest rewards. MV Extruder. MV Extruder can be nice for a few things. Yeah, I think we definitely will set one up eventually. I don't think it's super necessary as of right now, but I'm sure eventually we'll come into a scenario when we need one. Okay, yeah, so the next thing we want to make is the MV laser engraver because that's going to make those raw circuit wafers that we were seeing for making this electronic processor array. Right into here. Yeah, we got to make these integrated circuit wafers, and then those can be used back into the cutting machine to make what we need for the processor arrays. And by the way, the reason I'm making these tier 3 circuits is because that's what's needed for the patterns. That's a lot of crafting. Right here, yeah, so you need a tier 3 circuit. These are really expensive to make though, so I don't know if I'm going to go too crazy with automation when we're using the first GA3 circuit, because it's like something crazy, like 14, 15 of those circuits per 8 patterns. But once we get up to like the nano circuit, for example, those are a lot cheaper to make. We just need to advance our tech a bit more. All right, hopefully we have enough processors to do this, but yeah, let's go ahead and make this laser precision thingy. Oh, something we are going to need to make is a couple more rotors, or not rotors, motors. So for that, we need some more magnetic steel rods and some more copper wire. This is all boring stuff. Let me gather some supplies and be right back. All right, so I just crafted up some copper cables and magnetic steel rods, other stuff we've definitely already seen before. So I want to make a bunch of these electric motors. Okay, we can get 8. That is good. And then we're going to need one of them to be turned into an emitter. Or I guess this actually doesn't take a motor. But yeah, regardless, we need one emitter and 2 of these pistons, which, oh, I guess I think I have more crafting up though. Okay, we got plates and rods. Do that and that. So we need 2 of these pistons. Already made the machine hole. I think this should be everything. That's a lot of processors we're going through as well. There was 5 processors just for this one machine. Cool. Precision laser engraver. So yeah, this is basically something we can throw wafers into, and then we also need a certain type of lens to indicate what to turn it into. So we can use a red lens, a glass lens, or a diamond lens. And yeah, so I think we are going to be wanting to make the red lens because we need the integrated circuit wafer. I'm sure the quest book will also guide us through that though. So yeah, we made this MV precision laser engraver, and we want to make raw circuit wafers. Okay, it wants us to make both of these, I think. Integrated. Okay. So, but before we do that, okay, it's just going to say make all of these lenses. So that should be easy enough to do. So this is, I have rubies. I've smelted up a few rubies. I can do that. Diamond lens is easy enough. That's a diamond and an autoclave. Let me get that going. I think they all use autoclaves actually. So that will make my diamond lens, and then we need a ruby to get our red lens. And the last one is a glass lens, which, who would have guessed? A piece of glass. Okay, get rid of some of this stuff. We got our precision laser engraver. Maybe I should have made my red lens first, actually. I'm also just going to make a chest and throw it on top to hold these different types of lasers. Or sorry, not lasers, lenses. I'll just throw them in here, why not? But we're going to be using our red lens. And now, I think if we just throw in one of these, that should get the job done. And this does take a bit of time. It takes 45 seconds. But once we have that, we will throw it back into the cutting saw, and the cutting saw will turn that into the integrated circuits. And those integrated circuits are used for this electronic processor array. Wow, the magic of editing. Okay, so we have that, and let's throw it into here. Cool, and this is another long craft. Great. Grab our glass lens, and yeah, that should be our quest complete for the 3 different lenses. I don't think it really says what each one are used for yet, but mostly I'm assuming just the different types of wafers. Oh, it also wants us to make a RAM wafer, so let's do that as well. If we grab a diamond lens and do one of these, and I'm probably going to do a bit more than just one each. I just want to, I guess, show everything how it works for right now. And then, yeah, we should be able to turn those into the respective circuit chips. Be right back. Awesome. So we got our integrated circuits here, and those should be good to go. And then we also got our RAM wafer. So getting that should complete the quest. And I think it's just going to want us to throw this directly into the cutting machine. Yep. So yeah, basically we make the wafers with the cutting machine, use the precision laser engraver to make a certain type of wafer, and then use the cutting machine again to make the actual integrated circuits that we need. Cool. Oh, I guess there was a quest for MV chemical reactor that I must have missed when it first happened. Ooh, we're going to get into some crazy liquids soon. Cool, so we're going to get our circuit chips here, whenever that finishes. I guess I'm not in a rush. And then with that, we should be able to, okay, yeah, we should be able to make our first tier 3 circuit. That's great. I don't think that needs RAM though, to be honest. Maybe it does. No, that's refined. Okay, looks for the next tier, for tier 4. Oh no, that is tier 3. I don't really know the difference. Oh, we need a plastic circuit board. That's what we need. But we can make that now, actually, pretty easily with the polyethylene and the copper foil. I'm surprised the quest hasn't popped up for that yet. Probably something else. I think we actually need to go down the route of annealed copper. That's something I'll save for future episodes, though. So we actually get 32 RAM for one of the wafers, which is pretty nice. So we can collect our reward for that, and now we should be able to make our electronic processor array. So yeah, I think we should have everything for this. So let's go ahead and do it. What do we need? Some processors. We need our integrated circuits, resistors. Ooh, fine electrum wire. Do I have any electrum wire? So I'll make a bit of this stuff. I think this is used a decent amount, so I'll just make a stack of fine electrum wire. Capacitors, I think we have enough capacitors. We only need 2, I guess. And why did I put my processors away? Okay, so 4 electronic processors, 2 capacitors, 2 of the integrated circuits, aluminum plates, resistors. Let's get all the fun stuff out. And then we're making the electrum wire, and then of course we are going to need, since we're only going to make one, I'm just going to use tin for this one. So let's fluid extract that piece of tin. And okay, I'll let this finish up. Be right back. All right, we have enough fine electrum wire now, so I think we just have to throw everything in here. Resistors is the last thing, and then if we grab our little bit of tin, throw it in here. Oh man, we are crafting up our electronic processor array. So yeah, this is our first tier 3 circuit, and that's going to allow a couple things. First is, well, the next level assembler, which is very good to have, and then also making these auto-crafting patterns, which is something we're going to be doing a lot of in the future, but hopefully without using these really expensive processor arrays. But that's going to complete the quest there. That's great. They only give us pennies for it. I guess they don't think it's that big of an accomplishment, but I do. Okay, so now we're seeing where the annealed copper route is having us go. Because these are these new SMD transistors. There are transistors and resistors and different types of things. But I guess you need an MV assembler to make it. Let's see. Yeah, okay, you need a 96 EU per tick. Okay, yeah, you need liquid polyethylene, which we have now, which is great. Some gallium, which we also have, and then yeah, some of this annealed copper wire, which copper wire is very easy to make. It's just oxygen and copper. But I think I'm going to save that for next episode. Another reason why I was cooking up this soapstone is because we get a decent amount of oxygen from it, so that's pretty nice. And I've been slowly storing it into our fluid terminal, so I want to use a lot of this oxygen that isn't being used for the polyethylene down there. I want to use it for the annealed copper that we're going to make. But I'd say this episode was very successful. We got fluid storage digitally up and running, and then we also were able to set up a few new MV machines and get our first tier 3 circuit. So with that, I will leave you, but thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next episode.